Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Saturday, June 25th, 2022. The tarot card for today is the Lovers, which seems to come out not, too often, but we did see it last month. And this one comes to us from artist Kelly Burton, and this is her Journey of the Sacred Bee Tarot. And I want to remind everyone she has a really nice deck on Kickstarter right now, which is an app you can download and find so many wonderful indie projects there. And you really need to search for it by the actual name. It's called Keeper of the Sacred Bee. But you have this deck, which I'm showing you here today, the Keeper of the Sacred Bee, plus an oracle deck called Journey of the Sacred Bee. And when you put them all together, they're meant to work with each other. I think those of you who want to help support the bees and enjoy the artwork would really like this deck. Anyway, people always get really excited when they see this card, and I always come in with all of the reminders of all the things that it is actually about, because relationships and choices. And sometimes when we sit back and we go over these choices, we can really learn about a lot about ourselves as well. The kind of energy that we're dealing with here. We have the Sun, which has recently moved into Cancer. It's a more emotional spot, more concerned with the relationships that are closer to home and to family. And we have Venus, which left its cozy place in Taurus and moved into Gemini. So there's a little bit of busyness around things, trying to, get things done and, just taking care of business kind of thing. Some interaction with siblings is possible there. But where we usually try to focus on the daily is what the moon is doing. And it is currently not at home, but it is currently in Taurus, its place of exaltation. So the moon really loves to be here. And Taurus is a very sensual sign, which fits well with this card, But it's not as much about that as it is the kind of feel that it gives us. First of all, it's Saturday, right? So how we pursue our relationships and, the ones that we have going on, there's a lot to be looked into here, I think. Now, I hate to be the party pooper, but here where I am at 9:03 a.m., so it's like when most people are just getting ready to begin their day, the Taurus moon is going to square Saturn in Aquarius. Relationships, right? And Saturn tends to put restrictions on things. Now, these may not be things that you might feel bad about them, but you might be feeling the restrictions. You may already be aware of them, and I'm thinking many of you are, but don't let it put a damper on your day. Man, an hour later, and these are kind of tend to intermingle, you know what I'm saying? These energies. We're going to see a sextile between the moon and Neptune, right? So that may, pay attention to, because Neptune's getting ready to retrograde. The influence there is more of a dreamy state. I wouldn't get real carried away with things, but I pay attention to, that creative thought process, because there might be some answers there. There might be some solutions that you can use. And I think that is important. The final aspect that the moon is going to make before it moves into Gemini in the evening is the Taurus moon trine Pluto in Capricorn. And you know what, my real gut feeling with this particular transit is, first of all, Pluto is very transformational, the planet of death and rebirth. So, when you're thinking about in terms of relationships and transformation, right? Sometimes we do have to have the death of one in order to get to the beginning of another. It may not even be immediate when we close the door, but it's more about being open to that. I don't think you're going to just suddenly at some point in the day say that's it, that kind of a thing. But with today being a relationship card that's asking you to explore your relationships of all kinds, you may actually, be coming to some conclusions, because there is one piece of advice that I always give with this card, and it is, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. And, that is not always easy to understand, because sometimes I don't think we're all aware of our choices, the patterns that are involved in those choices. And this card asks you to do that. It asks you to explore those decisions that you make within relationships. Those of you out there who just want to make it all about love and, the sensuality of it all, that's great. You can do so. But there are other things which are happening around you which also need your attention at this time. We're in a very peculiar phase compared to what we have been used to, and sometimes change isn't always pretty. So do look over your relationships today. I want to thank you all very much for being here. I'll see you here again tomorrow, and as always, have a great day.